Matt Armeo, So,
Yeah.
what is going on, everybody? Boy, Joe, I promise you, we're gonna have an official intro. When PDR Tool Time, I used to have awesome intros, and I used to like really be big on that, and I just kind of lagged on that. But I feel like we had a really good podcast last 2 weeks ago, and it's a kind of a hard act to follow. So we'll try to make our best on that too as well, dude. So
All right, man. Yeah.
we started a little bit late tonight, but people will be able to jump on later on. But listen, folks, we are going to be giving away. You hang into the podcast. We are going to be giving away a PDR finesse pick right here. I just used it today on an aluminum. Actually, my tech did, John, on a aluminum tailgate. So just it's the sharpest, I believe, the sharpest knife in our drawer pick in ever. And matter of fact, they've got some of the best, sharpest tools. I think it's about an 18-inch. And Joe is going to decide how the contest is going to go. So hang in there.
Great.
I'll give you
Put
some
it on
time
me,
to
man.
think about that, but this is what we're going to give away, folks. So stay tuned. Look how freaking sharp that is, man.
Yeah,
It
that's
wants
a
to
good
focus
tool,
on my
man.
face. So
Yeah, that's a good tool.
So what's this? What's this about, man? What's up, Corey? What's up, Marcus? Marcus, what's going on, man? Marcus is coming back for some follow-up training. Heard he's already doing well. Making some money already. Congratulations, Marcus.
Congrats, Marcus. What's up, Corey? What's up, Vasquez Delfino?
A local guy,
Hayward, California.
Scott's coming in tomorrow. Scott's coming to pick up his son, and his son is Dent Jordan is doing fantastic, man. That guy's gonna be an awesome tech, and he really loves PDR, man. So
right on. Yeah, I've seen some of his work already, man. It's looking pretty sharp.
You know what? Here I am. I'm like, I hear you guys. I'm gonna give you some love. Don't worry. I forgot the click. So Joe, what's going on, man? What is going on with this podcast, man?
Okay, so this time around, we all know you, Myke, you're pretty much an Instagram expert, dude. I mean, you got the following to prove it. And I have some questions for you, dude, on what, not just the obvious stuff about, how to gain more followers or views, but really, what is our agenda in our PDR Instagram profile? What really are we trying to do, and how do we go about doing that? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm I wouldn't call it. I don't know. I feel like I'm still learning always, right? Yeah, I enjoy the journey of learning, but I also want to be real clear to everybody. And Joe, you and I have talked this off camera, and now we're talking about on camera, and we stop ourselves from really getting too deep because we want to save it for our podcast, right? Because you and I can really get in deep stuff even off podcast hours.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you guys to think that the more followers you have, the better your company is going to be, or it's all of a sudden it's going to be awesome and you're going to get a lot more customers and stuff like that. You do get more, shall I say, interest, but I don't know if it's really. I think it's false advertising. So we'll get into that. So, yeah.
All right. Sounds good, man. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm still, now you kind of hit me with a curveball though, with this contest, because now I'm going to feel bad for all the other losers who don't win it. That's going to be on me.
We're giving away this pick, 18-inch pick. They do have a whole set of these suckers, man, but this is one of my favorite lengths. And so we're giving one away from courtesy of PDR Finesse. So they are giving away one of these tools, and I'm happy to do that. And thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie is, if you guys don't know Bonnie, she is one of the owners at PDR Finesse, and she is a lovely lady, and she supports our podcast and everything we do. And thank you for that. So
yeah, thank you, Bonnie. The PDR Finesse tools, man. I've got a bunch of them, and particularly, similar to that, the Market Circus sharp rods, man. Those are in my go-to kit.
Yeah.
I use them all the time. So
You have to, dude, you got to have a set of those. But
yeah.
don't get me wrong, a lot of supporters. Anson, Ultra, A1, Stucky,
Yeah.
the Limited. I mean, I don't want to leave out anybody, but I mean, all these
Oh yeah.
people have contributed to Dent Trainer, Dent Time, the podcasts. So thank you guys for that. But listen, so we are going to cover some stuff. And by the way, how we're covering this content is a lot like what I do at mega media events. So now you guys will get a little bit insight. Actually, this is Joe's idea. He's like, Myke, why don't we talk more about the Instagram and get real deep on some of this stuff? And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's talk about some of that stuff. And so Joe and I, we do our homework, you know, and Joe freaking like comes at me like a freaking wild man, dude. And you know,
Well, man,
and
you know, you're like a mentor to me, Myke, you know, especially when it comes to like this social media stuff. Cause this is, you know, I'm a typical dent guy, dude. You know, I love our craft, and I've learned to love the business aspects too. And in also, you know, documenting the work that I do, it kind of has given, well, it's given my work more new purpose, because now not just my eyes are seeing it, and not just my customers' eyes are seeing it, but the world is seeing it, you know, or at least 1,500 or so followers of mine,
yeah,
and that's good enough for me, dude. I you know, I love the engagement. And I'll tell you, Myke, I did a little experiment at the beginning of this week,
Jay,
and I ended up posting, what's up, J Ma? How's it going?
Mr. J.
I ended up posting two posts or two reels, one right after the other, on like Monday. And uh, man, I'll tell you, dude, it got a lot of attention from people from obviously my usual suspects, my tribe, as I call them, my community that I've, you know, created with my posts, you know, my buddies, my dent repair buddies, who, you know, you guys who come on. I love the engagement. I love nerding out on the repairs, and I very much appreciate the words of encouragement. But even my repeat customers who have followed me as a result of seeing me on Instagram and using my service, and now new eyes that I'd never even seen, who are
Yeah,
liking some of these things, some of these posts, you know. And I'll tell you, it's got me realizing the power of posting uh, a lot versus the way I normally do. I'll just post, usually sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's once a quarter, dude. I'm not really super uh, intentional about it, except that I want to produce good quality content, because to
and
me
I
that,
think
go
you
ahead.
have great podcast. You have great content. I mean, you have probably, I personally think, the best content,
Oh, man, thank you.
quality content on Instagram that I've seen. I see a lot of people. I don't go on as much as I used to, and I'm being biased. And I really do love your content, Joe.
Thank you.
I
I
think a lot of
appreciate
people
that.
should kind of look at that content, because you're not just posting whatever and throwing everything on the wall and see what sticks, you know, kind of a post, you know what I mean? So
Well, I appreciate that.
that's why we want to talk about some of this stuff, right? So
Sure, man.
uh,
Yeah, you know, we're gonna get down to the bottom of a lot of that stuff. And um,
we're
yeah,
talking about
so
building a strong presence, right? And
absolutely.
really comes down to the know, like, and trust, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And
Sure.
so that's what we're going to build off of. And
Okay.
let's get started, dude. Like, what do you want to do, dude?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to remind anybody who's listening to this recorded, you know, this is available on obviously iTunes, Apple iTunes podcasts. I guess it's called Apple Podcasts, or if you're on the Android, it's Podbean. And if you, this is visual too, so this is a video to those listening recorded to this recording. So anyway, back to it. Um, yeah, so it is really a PR machine, right? It's like it's it's like our window, our shop window to the world. You know, the world sees what we're doing, and seeing our posts. And so I think it is important to put good content, good quality content. Obviously, we want to get reach, you know, but let's go back to that, you know, to that what was it? The screen that you showed right now with the text on it.
Yeah.
You know, building a strong presence, know, like, and trust. How do you do that, Myke? So in that way, you're at this point, you know who you're trying to reach, right? Who you want to see it, and who is it that you want to see it? Is it customers? Obviously, dent repair customers. Is it, in your case, it might be trainees,
Yeah.
potential trainees.
I feel like, what am I trying to target? I'm trying to target always clients, new clients. I'm trying to educate the client. I feel like it's our responsibility, at least my responsibility. I mean, I've complained quite a few times, you know, that people we put before and afters, but that's great. That is good. But what was involved in that? Like, how did you get to that point? We always say that, and I feel like Instagram, it has a very strong presence. It's so robust, and I know everybody's so sucked over to TikTok, right? But you don't get as much. You're only going to get as much information as you can in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, and stuff. But this has a huge advantage. You have stories, right? You have carousels, you have photos, you have videos, and you have a lot of options to tell your, what your business is about and the educational part. So that's what I use Instagram for mainly.
Okay. I saw a post on Instagram from Gary Vaynerchuk, the media mogul, and he's crazy good at social media. And Gary V, as we know him, he was saying, TikTok's a big thing. And I don't want to go off topic from Instagram, because this episode we're talking about Instagram. Maybe we'll talk about TikTok and another one. But he was saying, in regards to TikTok or on Instagram also, I think he was talking about both, that you should, if you want to get a lot of views and followers and all that, you should be posting 4 times a day, every day. And that's what he did. And, for world domination, basically global domination, and that's like, how are we supposed to do that? And then if so, going back to the two, and I'm not complaining here, dude, but like going back to the 2 posts that I made earlier this week, back to back, I almost never do that. And I got so much engagement, and I'm grateful for it. It was awesome. But that's the other thing Gary V says, is like, also engage as with everyone until it's not mathematically possible, and like with the engagement that I got just from like 25 comments or whatever, and again, I'm grateful for that. But it's like, dude, you at some point, we still have dents to fix,
Yeah, I
so
mean, look,
how do
a
you
majority
maintain that?
majority of people, they want the ooh and ah, right?
Yeah.
They don't want you got to put in the work, man, right? But what Gary doesn't say, because I live this, I do this constantly. What he doesn't mention is that, okay, you don't just throw 4 posts up a day, right? You throw 4 quality posts that make a difference a day.
Okay.
Educating your customer, maybe helping another fellow tech out, giving a tech tip. Hey, I use this clear packing tape on this, something that offers value, and making it interesting at the same time. That's why I say, that's why you look at generally most photos. If you do a before and after photo, yeah, I don't care how great it is. I mean, some photos are interesting. If it's a real nasty smash, you'll probably get a little bit of traction on that.
Right.
But your general Dording photos or your average hand-sized dents that aren't that big, you're not going to get the traction. But if that's your goal, is to build more followers, then go for it. But please keep in mind that what are you going to do with those followers? What kind of followers are following you?
Yeah.
I feel like you can be more productive putting out one quality video, one quality carousel, one
Mhm.
quality photo, as long as you have some information that you're giving, like you're helping a customer understand your service better. So
Okay.
that's where I'm at on that.
Okay. So in other words, also we need to know who we are, targeting then. What's our agenda here? What's our why? Why are we on there? We're not there necessarily to be famous. We're not
Yeah.
there to, you know, for global domination, but if if it's as simple as just presenting our craft and our brand to our local market, to the consumers in our local market, that's where we start, I guess. And then, then we craft our posts according to that. So now we can go into talking about what are we posting.
Well, we're posting photos, right? And then we're doing static photos. We're doing carousel, which we they do have a big advantage, right?
Okay.
Your photos can hold attention to a certain point, right? And they can be more or less engaging, depends on what you post.
Okay.
And I think that's what I got right there. Yeah.
Okay. So a
So
static post would be just a picture, just a before and after picture, or just a before picture, or
yeah,
of just a picture of just stationary. And then a carousel post would be, you want to show what that is?
yeah.
The slideshow, basically, right?
Yeah, it works better when you're on your phone because this is, I'm not swiping, but I'm just clicking. And
Right.
if you click,
Sure.
you're basically funneling them to look. And the main thing right here, what I did is discover how we use glue to remove your dents in 4 steps, right? So I'm helping them understand the process of glue pulling. Then I've posted this, actually some of these photos a few times, but I had
Mhm.
an idea that it's like, let me create something that's a little bit more engaging, some eye candy at the same time, not just a static photo that doesn't do nothing, but at least tells them something and gives them a piece of information. I
Yeah.
wanted to do it in 4 steps, let them know it wasn't going to take long for them to take a look at it, and I wanted to make it interesting. So just a basic process of the glue pulling, help a customer understand what we're using. Not every see the thing is, I think people, when they want to do something like this too as well, Joe, is that they get too involved in too much detail, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a
they,
lot
they
there, dude. There's a
yeah,
lot there.
so they don't know how to break it down into a bullet point, technically, kind of an
Okay.
overview. All right. They
Right.
feel like they have to get so much information, and then so information becomes too overwhelming. When it comes overwhelming, it's confusing. And when it's confusing, people don't watch it, or they don't look at they don't
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah.
So my main thing is just keep it simple, but
Okay.
keep it informative,
Okay.
and then give them an idea what it was, what it's like.
Because
So that,
at some point you're becoming like a designer, right? Like a graphics designer, or at least just like, moving stuff around, so it's symmetrical and eye catching and it pops, right?
yep.
So
What's up,
what
Shalot? Hey, yep.
What's up, Dave
Yep.
Shalat? What's up, Ray? What's up, Joshua Dragos?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out. What was that question
Christopher
again?
Allen? Yeah, so I was going to ask you, is there a certain app that you're using for to like craft just a photo like what you just showed in that slideshow?
Yeah, guys, you guys want, listen, let me just go to this right here. This was created in Canva. You know how long it took me, Joe?
How long?
10 minutes.
It's good, man. It looks great.
All right. Now, what I what really makes this photo is the quality of the photo. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Okay, the photo, the detail of the shots make it look better. Okay, um, but your camera phone these days are unbelievable on how you can
Yeah,
portray stuff.
yeah. And
I feel
I
like
mean,
we get involved on trying to impress so many other dent guys. We get confused about our own service, and I feel like, well,
yeah,
we need to go back to the roots and realize that we need to serve our clients, and
yeah.
teach them.
Right, right. And here's the thing that I want to point out before we go further, dude, is like, we have our style, we kind of have our brands, put together, and people recognize us, our brand and our photos and videos and stuff. And there's others in our field that also stand out. And this didn't happen overnight. I think that, like, looking at that carousel, as you call it, Mike, as sharp as it look, I mean, you have a designer's touch, dude. I mean, like, it looks like a graphic designer did that. And so you have something that a lot of us don't have. But would you say that you got to that point over a long duration of time of just enjoying the process?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
I think of a customer, and I've always been that way, trying to, I don't know, I'm just extremely, I don't think it's something I'm saying, oh, I want to be designer. I
Yeah.
actually want to be really have at least some good knowledge about a lot of little things. I don't want to know everything. I just want to know a little,
Right.
enough, right? To give my company, my identity, my brand, just some more of an edge, right? Just
Yeah.
stand out a little bit, be a little more polished.
Yeah.
That's how I've always been, and that's probably
Yeah.
why Dent Time is gone is with the way it was. It has.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, you're not a photographer. You're not
What's up,
a
Chris?
graphic designer. What's up, Chris? Dentless Touch. Uh, but you've evolved into that, right? To some extent, because what was your motivation there? Was that to communicate what your craft and your service is, to the consumer?
Joe, I think all of us desire that we want to show people, right? And it's just had it in me. You should see my early designs back in the day. It was funny, dude. I mean, you guys would laugh your butts off, dude. Like, I mean, but um, I I I had other people. I think we've talked about this before. I've had many people design stuff for me, and it just didn't really work out. They didn't match what I was thinking in my head, right? Um, so I get inspired. I do watch other artists and stuff like that, or cartoon guys, or Star Wars. You ever seen the freaking like the poster of Return of the Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back? I feel
Yeah.
like that's sometimes with our PDR stuff, dude. Like I
Okay.
really am just energetic about how things look, or the
Okay.
presentations of things.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
Oh,
PDR is a visual thing, right? I mean,
and and we're all entrepreneurs, Joe. I mean, you
yeah,
have to be you are if you are a business owner. I don't care if you're in PDR or if not.
yeah,
If you're a business owner, all right, you're
yeah,
self-employed. You're not just a guy who does dents or a guy who shows up and as a plumber. At some point, you have to wear a lot of hats,
yeah,
and you really have to try to be as best you can at them.
yeah.
You really do. That's the name. That's the game. And if you can't be, and
Mhm.
if you don't, if it's too much of a headache, it's too much pressure for you to do that, then hire people that can do that, or get people who are better at that for you. And I
Yeah,
know most of us as a self entrepreneur can't afford that,
right,
but you do have resources, and there isn't really too much of excuses that you can't get better at what you do.
right. Well, it is daunting, the process of getting from, the basic before and after post to what you just showed, dude. That carousel screen, what do you call it? The slideshow of that's so just everything is perfect on that. But it's a journey, right? I mean, but it's daunting to get there. And I think that, a lot of our friends here and on Instagram, I think they find, at the end of the day, after, you know, beating on metal all day, that's like it feels daunting of a task, to have to craft
Oh, I
something
get it.
like that. And you end up, it's midnight by the time you feel like you've achieved anything. I've been there lots of times. That's why I say, I mean, I feel like at this point, if there's any true motivation of going at least that extra step to craft something that's eye catching and captures the attention of the viewers, it's because it's at this point, social media and our communication through video is like part of our language. It's like if we don't know how to do that somehow, some way, shape, or form, like even if we can just hire somebody to do it, or if we can do it ourselves, if we don't have that in our repertoire, it's like not knowing. the full language that people communicate on now. You know?
I know. I get that. I mean, that's why I said start something small. First of all, you know what the secret of anything is do something you like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, don't, if you don't like promoting, then don't do it. Don't
Right.
do it. Right?
Right.
I mean, find someone else that can do it for you. And I know that's hard. It's said and easy. Let's say you want to promote, but you don't really like Instagram, but you love TikTok. Well,
Yeah.
fudge, man, freaking
Do
get in
TikTok.
there.
Yeah.
Do
Or
TikTok.
Facebook or any of the platforms,
Yeah.
right?
Do
'Cause-
something that at least have fun, you know, and do it. Like enjoy
right.
some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
do
point.
think that is part of it. But if you're if you can't, I don't know, man. I this is what baffles me. I mean, if you, I don't, why are you in business if you don't like promoting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you should be excited about your business and promote your business, because I say
Right.
this over and over again. If you ain't freaking excited about your own business, don't freaking expect your customers to be excited about using your service.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, dude, like, that's another aspect of, like Instagram for me. That's my chosen platform that, I wonder, about TikTok and all that. And I wonder if going on there and starting to craft posts for that, or even just take my reels from Instagram and or stories and create TikTok videos out of them. But I wonder, like, okay, if I'm putting that effort and energy into this other platform, how is my work on this one gonna, you know, be encumbered, or suffer, And I mean, I know I overthink this stuff. We know that about me, but I like it. I like to keep it simple,
Well,
and
yeah,
even my
I
Facebook
agree.
is like, it's a ghost town in there, but
I'll be honest with you guys. You guys will probably create an awesome video that you guys like, or an awesome post, and you really love it. You think, man, I really kind of hit this one out of the park. I'm pretty proud of this one, right? And you put it out there, and crickets, right? You're like, man,
yeah.
no engagement, no, not, no, whatever it is. And we're going to talk about that too in a second too. Or we want to bring that up if we have it in our show notes, but
Mhm.
the I think it doesn't matter though, right? I mean, if
Mhm.
you will create a lot of things in life and do a lot of things that are awesome, right?
Yeah.
It if nobody knows, right? We saw that Jim Brown thing, right? He's had a saying. He goes, man, he goes, if you do good things but nobody knows about it, and you're sincere,
Hmm.
you shouldn't care,
Yeah.
right? Shouldn't
Right.
matter to you, right?
That's right.
So I just feel like that's why it's so important that you should like what you do, no matter what happens, no matter what kind of results you get, no matter how many engagements you get, stuff. As long as you're doing what you're going to do, you'll shine one way or another.
Yeah. Right. Right. And I'll tell you, Mike. Like back in the day. Hey, what's up, Yahia? How's it going? Back in the day when I was doing work that I wasn't,
What's up, Andy?
what's up, Andy Patrick? Um, I was doing a lot of wholesale rush jobs, and I wasn't excited about it, and nor did I have the time to video and document this stuff. So I was less likely to post that stuff. So now the stuff you see is my highlight reel, but like anybody else's. But I'm enjoying my job a lot more. I'm enjoying being able to show, my audience what I'm doing and what a Den Evo job looks like, and that's that transparency thing we're talking about. So, uh, it makes it fun. It's actually, it's a lot of fun. And, in the future, we'll talk about other platforms too. But right now we're talking about IG, Instagram. So, initially, we talked about, I asked you, Myke, should your Instagram page be reserved as a portfolio of your finest work, or should it be utilized as a view generating machine? And we've kind of touched on that, what we need to be looking for. So we started talking about the posts, and you mentioned the static posts and carousel posts, and now let's talk about video then.
Yeah, let's talk about video. So before I get into it, I'm going to read your comment, Andy. My new shop will allow me to create so much more content. I'm excited for future. I'm going to get that.
Right on.
My word of advice, Andy, is get yourself a content management, schedule. You say that. I just want to be, I said the same thing. You say that, but you will get busy in your shop and then you'll have less time to do what you thought you were going to do. So make a schedule for yourself. That's what we teach in Mega Media Event. And I'm going to show you my schedule there. But get serious, and like you're going to work out and you have a dedicated time to do that. So congratulations, by the way, too, bro.
Yeah, congrats, Andy, on your new shop, man.
So video. All right. So some of the things, the benefits of video versus photos, right? We're talking about the static and all that stuff. So video is very engaging, right? You have a lot of, ways to get people. Reels are super effective, right? That's because they're really feeding more viewers to your reels. And let's face it, man, the reels are engaging. Basically it's the TikTok answer. It's their version of a TikTok video. Okay. Tone matters, right? So how you say, right? You can't really put a tone on your photos, right? You can't on a face or a profile or anything like that, but a video you can. Builds company and personal trust, right? Build your brand, build your trust. A lot of people, this is a very, very I would say underestimated bullet point right there.
Okay.
Video tells more than a photo. We know that, right? So those are some of the things we are talking about there. I don't want to get into the next topic here, but what do you think about that there, Joe?
Yeah, no, that all makes sense, man. It all makes sense, that know, like, and trust once again, right? Because it's a transparency, and we've talked about it being the age of transparency, now, and by showing video, man, it's just so powerful. And now it's come down to the reels, like you said, kind of like the TikTok version of Instagram. But the beauty of the reels is they're shorter and more engaging, like you said, but they're easier to make from this side, of the post, of the reel, like it's forced me to be more creative at trying to communicate what I'm trying to communicate through that. Like a 1 minute is all you get.
Joe, I think it's great because you are a deep detail guy, dude. Right? Yeah. You from a person from my aspect of looking at you, you've always been detailed. You don't care how long the video goes, you are going to make your point. But you're right. TikTok or Reels, they get you to make your point. They're forcing you to say, okay, what's your highlight of your highlights, right? Like, get to your point, buddy, right? Yep. And that's what the attention is. It's a double-edged sword, I believe. Some people, if you don't tell it like it is quickly, you're going to lose the engagement, right? And you might not get your point across if you don't do it right.
Yes.
Do we have time to give a pointer real quick on any of that?
Yeah. And before we do, I want you to give a pointer, but I wanted to remind you about the tool giveaway, that PDR finesse pick that you're giving away.
Yeah.
I figured out what the challenge is going to be for our audience right now. It's got to be with our live audience, you guys. Tech tip. I want a tech tip from any of you guys, and the best one wins. And we'll let everybody decide what the best one is.
Ooh, you got to now. Yeah, by the
end of the thing,
you win. You got to be here, dude. This is what you get: 18-inch
PDR. Give you till the end of the show. All right.
Ooh. Okay, this sucker's nice, dude. Look how sharp that freaking thing is, man.
Heck yeah, man.
Good thing I fixed my nails today.
Got your mani-pedi. Yeah, those things are stout tools, man. Like they do not budge. They got some drive.
Hey, Joe's video of that deck lid was awesome. So
Ray, appreciate that, sir, very much.
Mr. Ray. So what we were saying before we got into that?
Okay, so you were going to give us a tip, a pro tip, I think, as far as our video content. Is that where you were going?
Dave Schlott says best tech tips. Some techs think drinking is easy. That's tough for a newbie. Precision touch. What's going on, Lonnie? A lot of you guys will take too long to go right into your video, man. You'll show like a real slow shot of something. F that, man. Get right into your shot, man. Maybe open up a drawer, bang, like do something get their attention. Right. That's why I never really start off anything slow. I'm like right in there, or I'll change the aspect of the photo or the video, like just to get your brain going. Okay.
Right.
So get to the point. Nobody wants to see you walk over to something real slow or do something. You better be highlighting what you're doing. Action, action, action. So that's my little point. I will show you guys as well on Mega Media Event how I do my stuff and how you can actually make your videos even more engaging. Don't forget, the Mega Media Event is actually April 28th and 29th, themegamiaevent.com. You guys won't regret it. Please. I don't take a long time to throw stuff down your throat or anything like that, but I know you'll have a great time, learn a lot, and plus you can be at Anson's open house as well, April 30th. So hope to see you guys there. Okay, thank you. So there you go on that.
Yeah, and in all honesty, when you asked me what we wanted to talk about, I told you let's do something to kind of hype everybody up about MME. I mean, this is just a taste of what they're going to learn at MME, right? I mean, a
taste. So
yeah.
Plus you get some awesome the best photos in the industry, and I'm not lying, and all that good stuff. Yeah. Andy says tech tip CRM system, automation, scheduling, recorded phone calls is huge for your business. I agree. I totally agree.
Thank you, Andy.
And you got it. If you ain't doing nothing with your data, and I don't know. So
yeah, well, that's a great tech tip, because that's something that I have with all the other things I've done and have been successful at. That's something I haven't implemented yet. So I'll get on it, Andy. Thank you for the tip. And by the way, guys, the tech tip doesn't have to just be PDR, technical skills either. It could be like what Andy just said too. So by all means, thank you for joining us, by the way, guys. We appreciate it.
So are we getting into the, are we doing, or we're going to do this give versus ask, or you want to set something else before that?
Yeah, let's talk about that. The kind of content we're going to be creating, give content versus ask content. Now, you and I, Myke, we listened to the Entree Leadership podcast, an awesome podcast that, our friend Paul Corden referred us over to a while back. And, they had a really good episode where they talked about the kind of content we should be producing on our social media, not just Instagram. And they talked about give content and ask content. And these, there was like a golden ratio where ideally we'd have 80% of our content be give content. And we'll describe what give content is. And then the other 20% would be ask content. That's when we're asking for whatever it is we're asking for when we're advertising for our services. So let's start with the give content.
Okay. So knowledge, tutorial, demo. What's that mean?
Okay. I guess we're giving them our knowledge. We're showing them what we do, what we offer, the solution to their problem. And then we give a tutorial on how we do it. And in a demo, I guess the demo and the tutorial would be one and the same, no?
Yeah, that demonstration. Yeah. Tutorials, giving something like you really kind of, giving value, obviously, and you're showing your expertise. So that is what I would consider those three things about giving content here. And eye candy. So you're thinking all the fluff, right? But what do you mean by eye candy, though? Can you be more specific? Do I do eye candy? Because I'm not sure on this one. So
I would say so. I mean, I had broke it down to like the knowledge short, the eye candy post, the humor post, and the get to know us post, familiarity. And of course, there's, I'm no expert at this, guys. So anything, again, going back to the tech tips, too. You guys add something that I'm leaving out here, but we'll start with you mentioned the eye candy post. This is obvious eye candy here, where you know it would be a unique or cool looking car, a tool or equipment. We're visual people, and our consumers, let's face it, our customers are visual people. So, and hell, you know what? Anybody who's on Instagram scrolling away, rolling the wheel, they're looking for that eye candy, right? So give that to them if you want to catch their eye. What are other examples of that, Myke?
I don't know. I'm like, like, what have I done? Like,
Well, you showed that carousel, for example,
oh,
with
you're
the little.
talking like okay, like just a little more
Yeah, it
glamorous
pops,
stuff.
man.
Okay,
It
yeah,
pops. It just grabs your attention. And sometimes that's design, or maybe you're color grading a photo. You're making it, really pop. Or sometimes it's just the content within. Or sometimes it's just the subject that you're photographing. Your Hellcat, or a Dodge Challenger, or or some cool car, something unique to draw in
yeah.
their
Okay, I got you.
so I
Okay,
would
yeah,
consider that give content, because you're giving them something to look at, right? And
yeah.
then going back to your knowledge tutorial demo, well, then that was what I had referred to, a knowledge short. So this could be a reel. In most cases now, for me, it's a reel, just showing a brief. It could be a tech tip for my PDR guys who come in and watch and
Tools,
engage with my posts, right? So they're
tools. I guess. Yeah.
yeah, and they'll see that, and they start, engaging, and I get to respond back with my, you know, sometimes we geek out. Well, guess what? You're It's not just PDR guys watching this. It's just your local consumers are going to see that when they get a dent tomorrow morning. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to search paintless dent removal near me or in your city, and you're going to come up. Your IG is going to come up, or what we can do is we can lead them to it, and they're going to go see that portfolio of your work, and they're going to see stuff like that, and it's gonna. I would consider it give content, because you're giving them, uh, a taste of what you're doing. You're giving them
Got it.
information. That
Okay.
makes sense.
Yep. Humor.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think humor goes a long way with anything. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Humor. Yeah. There's some
Um,
there's some freaking comedians in our industry, dude. Right.
there are. There are. I actually did a video. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't find a what do you call it? I couldn't find a track to put on it. I when I do a video, I really kind of take my time finding out what kind of track I want to put with my video, or I'll pick a track before my video
Mhm.
and kind of visualize how I want to do my video. But I couldn't find one. And then I just said, you know what, hell with it. I'm just gonna mumble through this. I'm just gonna mumble through this friggin' thing. And it turned out to be, you guys actually liked it, but
Yeah. I remember
that
that,
was
man.
something. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I think if you can be yourself as much as possible, whether you're a funny person or not, right? And you're just having fun, again, it just doesn't matter, man. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's my take on that.
I think
Um,
it's a good way to offer some. You're offering entertainment, right? And I'm not,
yeah,
like you said, dude. I don't do that many. I don't do stuff like that so much. I mean, I guess I have some, but it's not my forte. But I see others who do, and it's pretty hilarious. But that's one way of giving something while they're rolling the wheel. While they're
yeah.
scrolling, you break the scroll with that.
Cinematic and professional, right? I
Okay.
I think you can be. That's a fine line, to be honest with you. With that, I think Christopher Ray does something really well like that. He's
Yeah.
probably in that field. Davo, a
Right.
couple other people, that do that. I know there's some guys in Russia that do more of a cinematic. Cars Formers is what I would consider a cinematic kind of feel. I think
Mhm.
I think that has its that I do it a lot too. but I think it can be overkill for certain things too. It just depends on what you're doing. Honestly, I have something to say at the end. Most of this is like you should be mixing it up with everything, right? You should have a little bit of everything in your
Yeah.
content, because you can reach burnout stages by consistently narrowing the way you have to do things, and I just feel like you're just not going to want to be as creative if you always
Yeah.
go a certain route. So
Yeah, I hear you, dude. And that's again, we're trying to present ideas on what we call or what they described as give content. This is so there's an entertainment factor, I think, to it, or at least informative and knowledge, based. You mentioned the dentless touch guys, Dave and Chris, man. Those guys, that stark white background and the cinematic aspect of their professionalism and their videos and high definition is just it's just outstanding. It's impossible not to get sucked into watching that, and
yeah,
that's something to aspire to, really, man. I look forward to that one day, being able to have like a studio, like what Andy Patrick just talked about, having his own shop to be able to stage, these these documentations, really, to be able to communicate, on another level, and like what you do, Myke, all that lighting, in there, and you just really get a feel for what high level PDR is like.
yeah. I listen. I think everybody has their own, you know, way of doing things. I think you and I were talking about, I haven't posted as much as frequently as I have. I do. I get my spurts and I do what I need to do. But today I had a Mercedes-Benz aluminum. I had a tailgate. I just was not in the mood today to just shoot stuff. I got some video clips here and there, but it's not my normal, like, oh, I really want to get into this. I do feel, Joe, it's important that it's okay to feel like, you know what, I'm exhausted, man. I don't want to do any more stuff right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when when a student is learning how to PDR, and you guys all remember this, or you are frustrated on a long dent. It's best just to get off the damn thing, right? Because what happens when you do something that you don't want to do, or you're pretty burnt out,
Yeah.
it's not going to turn out good anyways, dude. if you
Yeah.
keep if you don't give yourself a break, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
so I feel like not enough people feel like they're trying to keep up with their competition, or they see somebody that's really posting a lot and they
Yeah.
feel like it makes them have anxiety. I know
Okay.
that because some people are telling me that once in a while.
Okay.
And I just think it's okay to not post as much. You don't have to post as much. You just have to post,
Yeah.
when you do, good quality stuff. And you
Yeah.
know,
Okay. What do you think the aspect of induces anxiety for them, Myke? Is it just the pressure or is it the feeling that they're not getting enough
like what, you know
engagement?
what? I'm not going to speak for anyone else. I'm actually going to speak for myself. And
Okay.
people don't think that I go through that. I go through that. Okay. I go through where I feel like I'll be sleeping. I have a sleep disorder as well. So
Oh,
maybe a
really?
lot of people don't know that, but you know, if something's bothering me in my head, I get anxiety, dude. Like I want to get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and work on it, because I feel like it's like I'm missing the boat on something. And I
No
think
way.
that's too extreme. I'm probably really extreme at that. But
Yeah.
I know people are how they should deal with that is really get a schedule. That's what really helped changed a lot of things for me. Is
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to dedicate a schedule for myself, and it has helped. And if I can't get something done in that schedule, I don't worry about it. I don't get all anxiety about it as I used to. I get a little worried. I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah.
That's just my nature. But I feel like if you're just gonna wing it every day, every week, every month, every year,
Yeah.
y- you're not gonna you're gonna have a lot more challenges than you anticipate. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, Dave O actually kind of parallels what you're saying, man. And he says every now and then I get anxiety around content when I know I haven't and someone else is. I feel like I'm falling behind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the same thing. Yeah. I guess I'm not in the same, I'm in the same, not in this, I'm not in the boat alone, shall I say. Okay. And I know,
Yeah.
and that's important for me to say, hey, I'm not going to guess at what you guys are doing. I'm just going to tell you what happens to me, even though
Yeah.
you guys might think, how, Myke, how in the hell you do it? It's
Right.
just because I want to do it. Right.
Yeah.
But I also have anxiety problems too at certain things. And it's hard to control sometimes, dude. So
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being so honest with us, Myke. Yeah. I've heard that a lot, dude, that, not just with our PDR stuff, but like a lot of social media, we kind of touched on this a while back too, like social media can bring anxiety out of people, and you're constantly trying to measure up, right? And I mean, what would you say is the solution to that, or like a way to avoid that? Would it be, because like for me, I've never been a social media guy, so it's real easy for me to turn it on and turn it off. And I use it to communicate my brand to my local consumers, and that's it. And in the process, I've made a bunch of friends, dude, and it's awesome, and so, but I could see the competition, and Chris Ray says that burnout can be real, man.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it can get to you. But you guys are high performers, man. I mean, I could see why that would, like I said before, I'd freaking post whenever I want, and sometimes I go through these creative spurts.
Yeah. You have to have discipline. When you say you're going to do something, you got to do it, because if you don't, then that guilt of saying that you were going to do it, then all of a sudden it carries over. Again, it just kind of carries over to your family time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Joe, you're a big family guy, and you dedicate to certain things. The thing
Yeah.
is that, listen, here's what I help to focus on too. And I've stopped being as personal on Facebook, and it has hurt me in certain ways, because a lot of people, has disengaged from me in certain things, because I'm not in on my Facebook page as much.
Yeah.
I think that really what comes down to, personally, if you really care, spend less time on social media and more time on your business media, and you will have more time. That's a lot of you guys watch social media, and thank you for watching, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is your business, right? We're talking about business, so don't feel
Yeah.
guilty about watching us. Hopefully, you learn something, and you get something. But I really think that a lot of people spend too much time on bullshit,
Yeah.
and not enough time on their business. That's where it comes.
Right.
That's my opinion. So,
Sure.
right
Sure.
on that.
Well, I mean, we're working on our businesses, and that's what we're here to do, to talk about. And you and I, we don't want to just uh, put out crap, content, and that, I think the same holds true for our PDR profiles, and as well as, this podcast. We want to give out, and like, look, our audience, their time is valuable. They have a choice of where to go, and if we're not giving them something of value, man, they're gonna go, and that's okay. But we prefer to present good content. So what does Brandon Gates say?
Collision estimator here from Great Falls. Dealing with insurance companies, no doesn't mean no, not at all. It could mean they don't have enough information or data to say, yes, we will pay for that. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's on topic, but I'm not
Okay.
sure.
It just
But
popped up. So, all right. I
yeah.
think he was,
So
I
thanks,
think he was
Brandon.
maybe
Yeah.
having a conversation with some of the audience. So,
Yeah.
or maybe that's a
Uh,
tech tip. That's his tech tip, actually.
Ray. Yeah, you guys are, yeah, Vasquez, thank you very much. We appreciate that, man. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? Ray, cool. I'm gonna stay on topic here, dude. So
Yeah.
if you don't mind,
Right on. Right
right?
on. Let's keep going, man. And how about back into the before you go to ask, there's one more and give. And that would be the
Oh,
familiarity post, get to know us post. This is something
the
I'm not
personal.
great at, but you
Yeah.
do it, Myke. You show, the audience knows who Myke Toledo is, and the audience even knows who Big John is, man. You know, he knows Tim. They know Tim. You know, your guys that work with the Dent Time crew.
Yeah.
You know, and you know who's good at this is Danny Espinal. Man, he showcases himself and who he works with D Dent's Instagram. You know, he's real good at showing, and on his reels, man. I'll tell you, it's again communicating a
You
brand
have to.
in I think he's giving some even a little bit of entertainment too. So
You look, I have people come in all the time, dude, and this is nothing to be bloated, dude. And I'm sure Chris or people who do a lot of videos, Davo, all that stuff. The people, they're like, customers are like, "Hey, man, it's boy, this is surreal." I'm like, "What do you mean?" "I'm here talking to you. I've been watching your videos all the time, man. And even before I got a dent, I go, man, if I get a dent, I'm gonna go see this guy. And here you are.
right.
You're right here." It's like, "Hey, man, chill out, man. I'm just a dent guy, just here to do. But yeah, because I love your videos. I love your content. And hey, that's the guy in the video." And he's talking about Big John, dude, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
It's starstruck.
that's exactly what that give content and making it personable, get the know, right? The
Yeah.
like and the
Yeah.
trust. I mean,
Right.
that is what it's about, right?
Right. 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 And again, that's what they said in that episode. They were talking about the give content. It should be 80% of what we put out there. That means we're not human spam like Chris's book that he gave me, Show Your Work says. You know, we are giving something of value to the scroller out there, to the people watching. So those are our examples, PDR related, as far as give content. I'm sure you guys have even more ideas, and by all means, share it with us, dudes. You know,
Yeah.
it's you know, that's why we're here. That's why we're meeting. This is a meeting of the minds here. So that being said, we also have ask content, right? But what does Dave O say here? But as far as the content we produce, I always have our YouTube channel on loop in the lobby so they can see the process while they wait. And when they hear hammering, they aren't startled. LOL. Yes, Dave, that's so true, man. You know, I'm mobile, so I don't have that luxury, but I do have a bedside manner, and I let them know before, you know, I'm going to be hitting your car with this and this, and it's going to sound terrible, but it's part of the process. Sit down and watch, you know. But those videos, like Dave said, they show that if you're showing
Yeah.
that in your content, you are essentially giving them an idea of what to expect. So, you know, by all means, give content. Now we'll move on to the ask content examples. So ask content, obviously the big one for me, Myke, is, you know, the long video posts. And I'm guilty of this. The please watch my video post. This is any video that's longer than 1 minute, in my opinion. It showcases your offerings in one way or another. You know, for me, I'm big on making these like 5 or 6 minute, which is an eternity in social media now. Let's face it, right? A lot of us won't watch a video that long. To me, the person who's watching that 5 or 6 minute video, taking the time they're somebody who just got dented right now.
Yeah.
They just got
Yeah.
dented right now, and they
Yeah.
are looking almost desperately, depending on their sense of urgency. You know, they're looking for the solution to their problems. So that's when those longer videos show up for me, or really help me. And most of the time I'm texting those to my prospects, and so they can get an idea. But in the meantime, I do post those on Instagram and other social media, and it shows it's asking a lot to the audience, you know, to watch this whole 5 minute, 6 minute video, sometimes longer, showing how I price, assess, and
Do you
remove the damage.
do you do you look at your data and look at like where people fall off on the
Yeah,
video?
and I'm glad you asked that too, because I was going to bring that up. You and I are once again at opposite ends of the spectrum, Myke, and you know, and our followers, our amount of followers reflect that too, because I have a fraction of the followers you have, but I do not, and this could be why I don't experience the anxiety that you're talking about. I keep a basic Instagram profile. I have not switched it to business profile. My main reason was initially because I like music. I like, I've expressed my love for metal music, before on other
Yeah, you
episodes,
don't
but
sing like a ska guy, but
I,
yeah.
let's go. I love all music. The thing is that, and I go through phases. I love all music though, and particularly, professionally recorded music, versus the canned royalty free music, and I feel like it matches tempo sometimes, or it's just not. I like to use it, and I understand, or I could be wrong here, but at some point, or at one point, a business profile wouldn't allow you to play copyrighted music, which is, it's getting edgy if you're advertising and playing copyright music. But I'm careful about not putting my logo and make it a commercial necessarily. Like if I put a tech tip and put, you know some professional song, I feel like it's kind of cool, and I like the sound of it, quite frankly. But the other is the issue was what you going back to what you asked me, why I haven't switched to a business profile, or if I have one, is I don't know, man. It doesn't. I know it's important to see the analytics and
I
all
don't
that,
know if it's that
but
important, dude.
I don't pay attention to that stuff, dude. I really don't.
I don't think it's that important. I mean, what is important about Instagram, dude? Honestly, it's as important as if you want how important. I don't know if it makes sense, but if you want to make it important, if you my main thing is I don't want customers thinking my job is $50, dude. I'm sorry, or $100.
Yep.
So that I'm very specific about the avatar of my customer. So that's why you guys are probably, some of you may know this already because we've mentioned it on other podcasts, but in case you don't know, I do put a cost range on generally most of my posts that have, the dents on them. And sometimes I'm under some of you guys. Most of the time I'm above, but it's not there, for a pitching contest to see who's going to charge the customer the most amount of money. I'm there for one reason, and posting my photos and my video and the description of what I do and how I do it is to focus on that type of customer I want.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, Joe, like, I mean, this is what it's about, right? Focusing on your customer.
Right. Okay.
But to answer your question about your business, like, I don't think it matters about if you're a business or not, unless you're trying to monetize things. I think or if you're selling products, if you have products you're
Mm,
trying to sell, I think
okay.
that's a huge thing. I don't really use it too much for myself to do it because I'm not in the business to sell products. I do sell some, but I'm not
Yeah.
making a killing on it. So
Okay. Okay. It's good to know. Davo, he's definitely snagged a caption or two from Myke because he loves the setup with the ranges.
cool,
He also
Dave. Yeah.
says he started adding more video content to Google my
Yeah,
my business page. Yeah,
that is a whole new topic, man,
that's
and
another
I'm talking.
episode,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
That's so
it's
crucial.
you got to. I mean, that's
I
probably
think we
one of the
should
most
have
important
Davo
things.
on here because I have a question for you,
I sent
Dave.
him a link. He didn't answer it, man. So Dave, that's
Oh,
it, man.
stood up, man. That sounds familiar, actually. But Dave, I actually have a
Busting
question
his
because I've
balls,
been
dude.
trying to post videos on my Google business listing, and I used to be able to do it, and usually it would take some time, but it's not letting me post them anymore. And they say publishing, and that's it. They never show up. So I know maybe we can get down to the bottom of that on another episode.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about that, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
get on the go. I feel like that's one of that is. I feel like that's the most important
Oh, absolutely.
part of any.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick one, I'm going on Google My Business, man.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
I'm
For
all in
sure.
on that. And so
Oh
yeah.
yeah, me too. Me too.
Um. Oh, let me go back to my thing here. So, please watch, right, and
Yep.
estimate, dude. So,
Yeah, the estimate post, when we show uh, our pricing, when we show how we come to the price, that could be arguably that could be a give content because you're showing them something, but you're also putting a number out there, which is, we've talked about it before. When we put prices out there, it's pretty ballsy, and we have to have, we can't just it's not like just putting a price on a picture of a dent and before and after. Because I've
What's
thought
so
about
ballsy?
doing this.
What's so ballsy about it, though, Joe? I mean, like, honestly, I feel like it's ballsy if you feel like you're not used to it or you're just uncomfortable with it. But
Yeah.
why not?
I think a lot of people don't do it because they feel like they're shutting the door on an opportunity, because if somebody's just going to keep scrolling past and say, no, that's not worth it, I'm going to go to the other guy. They don't want to lose opportunities to their competition, who
Yeah, if
inevitably
you,
is usually cheaper.
I used to think like that, because if you don't know what your avatar of your client is, you'll never get that type of client you want. You'll get everything but that client.
Yeah.
In general, as a whole,
Yeah.
you'll get Groupon people, you'll get Craigslist kind of people, you'll get assume customers, right? You'll get customers that are always surprised about how much you charge. Always surprised. Those days are done. I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah, me too. And that's why I started doing it, because it was just too hard to differentiate, with the local guys. And I mean, in a way, it's sometimes in some ways it's like selling on price, but on high price, and because there's some people that's how they buy their anything. They go for the high price first, and believe it or not, they're not as in high abundance as the price shopper, but they're there. But at the same time, nobody's surprised unless they haven't done their research and seen my pricing online. So
yeah, and this isn't like, I'm not Paul Corden, dude, but man, I've had some pretty good week, dude, on customers. Again, the main thing is that us techs, we think that wow, we're not going to give this lady an $1,800 repair or an estimate because she's probably not going to pay out of pocket, dude.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they do. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to get all into that. That's another thing.
Well,
too,
that's another episode, man. We'll do a sales episode too, because I've been brushing up on. What's that?
Bring back Paul Corden. We got Dave Schlott coming up in a couple weeks.
Right on. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so so again, we're talking about ask content, and we're talking about pricing post. We're saying, hey, here's my service, here's how much it costs. Please use us, or please watch our long video. Also, the commercial ad post, and you put request info. Okay, so explain that to me, Myke.
Well, you want their information. I guess that'd be kind of a quote, kind of fall under this commercial, shall I say. You want them to contact you. That's basically what it is. Contact me. Yeah, I forgot. Lost my train of thought on that one, man. I had my show notes and I can't see my show notes, man.
Okay,
help me out, Joe.
So you're asking for their information. You're asking for data, basically, right?
Yeah, I am, but I'm trying to think of my examples I had right here, and all of a sudden I'm going blank, man.
Oh, man.
I
might have broken your train of thought there, dude. Yeah. It's been a long day, man. I know you were beating on that aluminum S550 door, man.
I got a blister on my hand, man. I got a blister on my hand. So, yeah, I was beating the hell out of that thing, dude. So, yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, the aluminum crowns, man, they are tough. I literally will use a sledgehammer and a big soft knockdown and heat too, because when you're hitting it that hard, it literally is it makes that paint very susceptible to cracking. And I've done it. That's how I know.
You gave me some heads up on that. So yeah. So listen, people, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. We are going to pretty soon, or Joe's gonna. What's the contest about this? We're giving this tool away. This pick.
Yeah, we're going to read all the tech tips too. Thanks, guys.
Can we show a tech tip? Or we? Oh, sorry. What do we?
Yeah, you want to read some, or you want to just wait till?
I want to show your tech tip. I want to show your tech tip.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So you got a dent right here. And look at you. You put a socket there for leverage, dude.
It's called desperation and resourcefulness.
Look at that, and you didn't even chew it up, dude.
So yeah, and so here's the deal. I made that video not so much as a tech tip for using a socket to put on a bolt to, protect the bolt. The truth is, I did that because I was having a hard time getting the tool to stay stable, and it was slipping off that nut that was on where the bolt was, bolted into, and it kept sliding around, and it couldn't keep it stable. So I put some leather inside the socket. I had that socket handy, it's a little snap-on. I wouldn't use a Craftsman because I wouldn't trust that it would hold up, but a snap-on, all right, and I put it on there, and the leather kind of kept it in place. And yes, it did protect the bolt, right? But it mainly kept it stable for me to push that deep dent on that contour out safely, and the thing is that it's almost turned into a tech tip more for what kind of content to post, Myke, because I haven't even posted that yet on my Instagram, but it's an example of what I mean by give content.
You should.
Because you're giving a tech tip to, your buddies who watch your content, but it's also showing the potential prospects out there, the consumers, the person with that dent on their truck, they're seeing that and they're saying, oh, this guy cares about the inside of the panel too. And I do. I genuinely do. I take measures to protect the inside because I don't want to be that guy just scratching up the inside. Admittedly, I use sharp rods too. We talked about like the very tool we're giving away here, but that's yet another way to give content to the consumers, anybody viewing, because I will, like, if I do scratch up the inside, and Jack Bucknell, you guys, Andy, Patrick mentioned Jack a few times in the comments. Jack Bucknell's really good at this. And I encourage you guys all to go to Sioux Falls PDR, Sioux Falls Dent Removal, I think it's called. And, he uses the cavity wax, and that is a 3M product. It's an aerosol, and it's basically a liquid that you spray inside the panel after using sharp tools like the one you're holding, Myke. Yeah. And that just adds a little bit of corrosion proofing to the inside of the panel when that happens. So Jack has shown numerous times videos of him doing that, spraying cavity wax into a panel. And that is what my feeling is like. That's give content. That shows the consumer out there, hey, this guy knows his stuff and he cares, and he's giving us some insight here. So this little video that I made here was kind of in the spirit of what Jack does. And I feel like I'm giving some content to my viewers, and I'm, my PDR viewers, and I'm giving some content to the local consumers who see, that, hey, Dent-Evo is a brand that cares about the way they do things.
I think this is excellent tech tip again, Joe. You came freaking on point again. Now I got to step up, dude, and show some of my tech tips, dude. So yeah,
thank you.
Great job, dude.
Thank you.
So nobody has a tech tip here they want to share. I guess nobody's going to win this.
No,
dude.
man, so, they've been leaving them. Let's scroll through, man.
Hold on. So precision.
Let's read them all. Okay.
I know why he said this. He actually, this is a student of mine. He went to do a job, and I'm not sure if he's saying this or is not, but what had happened, he got blamed for disengaging the lock on the panel. I think I told you this, Joe.
Oh, okay.
And it cost him definitely a pretty penny, dude. They had to break the door and basically replace it. So
oh no. Precision Touch PDR. He says go back, read his comment again. Before starting
a repair on any panel, check that everything works or not. If not, notify the customer and document. Check again at the end of the repair to avoid being blamed for previous damage. So
thank you for that.
That's happened. That is, Lonnie, that is a good,
that's a great point there, Precision, because I'll tell you, somebody says Joe should win that, tip. Thank you. No, but that's a great point he brings up, Myke, because it goes back to what we talked about slowing down the estimate. Slow down the estimate. That's what Paul Corden says. Slow down the assessment or the estimate, and so you can really get a feel for what you're dealing with, including a pre-existing damage. And it also brings up the idea that maybe we all should be using scan tools. Once again, another idea for give content there. Jack, once again, Jack Bucknell, he has shown the Autel scan tool that he uses to scan people's cars beforehand. So that's a great tip. You don't want to get blamed for existing damage, man, because that stings.
Okay, you guys take a vote. Who should win this?
Well,
this right here.
Myke, let's read some of these tech tips.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
which
all
one?
of them. All of them.
Oh,
Let's.
I didn't see it.
Let's see here. I'm scrolling down. Give me a second. Okay. Great content. Bear with me, guys, because I also want our recorded, listeners later on, who are listening now, I guess, in recorded version of this. I want them to benefit from these ideas as well, because they're good ideas. No matter what level you're at. Let's see here. I'm scrolling through. Dave Shalott, we'll start with the best tech tip, and this might win here. Some techs think drinking is easy. It's not, my friend.
I told you there's not that many, man. People don't have that much tech tips here. So,
let's see here. Precision Touch PDR says that's tough. A tough contest for a newbie. LOL. I don't think so, you guys. You guys who are new to this game, you have ideas. You just don't realize it. And stuff that us old dogs leave behind. You have a new perspective, a fresh perspective on things that become old hat for us, and we become stagnant.
You got a new one in here. So okay, now we're starting to get some.
Tyler Young says use hot glue on tool tips. Put it back. Use hot glue on tool tips for a softer push. Hey, I like it. That's a good tip. Brandon Gates. Aztec all the way.
Aztec scan tool.
Okay.
Drinking and pushing dents. That's a great one.
Yeah, Andy Patrick, I agree, man. I've learned from new techs as well.
Oh shoot! Thanks, Scott, dude. Yeah, I'd love to give this to you, man. Trust me, man. But thanks.
Read his tip, Myke. Scott Nagasawa.
Beginner's tech tip: get quality training, not bias, but check out Dent Time.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, Scotty. Appreciate you, G, man. So, don't eat yellow snow.
Yeah, good tip.
Eyes can be heavy after a few seconds of that. All right, I don't want to spend all day on this. Okay, so guys, who you decide?
Well, I got to read them to know.
Or Precision? Who are we giving it to? Man?
Let's see.
I do like the glue tip too. That's good. That's actually like in the tops. Okay, because
you gotta be careful. I suppose it depends on the type of tool tip you're using, right? I mean, because obviously the sharper the tool, obviously it will wear through, but
that's
probably be dangerous. But I think maybe on the more flatter surface area, it's brilliant. A nice soft push.
That's good advice. I like that, dude. He says guys use a pre-damage checkoff sheet and take pictures of interior and exterior and have a customer sign before repair. So, that is a good tip, dude. So it will save you money, man. Trust me. Or you can take video clip too as well. Go around too, but that's good.
Okay.
And the type of glue. All right, so let's go, Joe.
Well,
what do you think?
Andy Patrick mentioned this on his podcast, the Dent Bros or Ginger Bros, excuse me. You guys, I know you guys all know what Ginger Bros are on podcast. He mentioned it on there when they were talking. Actually, I think he might have been talking with those Dent guys in Britain. Either way, sorry. He says another tech tip from Andy Patrick. Another tech tip for the techs who hate posting to all the platforms. Look into socialmonials. It's one place where you can go create posts for all your social media platforms. Thank you for that, Andy. Good tip.
Yep. There's different platforms out there for sure. So,
Yeah.
All right. What's
Let's
going
see
on?
here.
Did he post that? When did he post that, dude? Did he say that today, just right now on here?
Yeah,
Or
in
is
the
that on his
comments.
own podcast?
No, he said that on either his podcast or one of the recent podcasts he was on, but
Oh,
he's
okay.
also said it here on the comments.
He did? Where?
Yeah, yeah. You got to scroll up, dude. You know, you can see the comments, right?
Yeah, I can see it. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, he said that on there, and then here, let me click that on there.
Well, you pick it then, dude.
Well, I want to give these guys a chance, dude. You got a few minutes here? Let's see. Alex Dane Pollock, PDR beginner here. Don't know too many tech tips that aren't already known, but I do know one thing on the topic of videos. When making a Reels, TikTok, etc., if you're looking for more engagement on your posts, look to use a trending song or sound of that week. I tend to see more people stick around a little when they at least are familiar with the sound. They also can search for videos in the sound you use. More popular sound equals more people browsing videos with that specific sound. That is an excellent tip. And I'm glad you brought that up, Alex, because that was going to be one of my questions for Myke, actually, that I
All right.
didn't have my paper in front of me was, the tunes we put on there. And we kind of touched on it a little bit when I was talking about the music I like to put, but a lot of people are putting on these, not just music, but like these sound bites, sound clips that are trending. And that works like a hashtag, right?
That's what I did. I put it perfect. You know that from what was it? The Street Fighter.
Okay, yeah.
So,
right on
the song. I actually I don't know why. I think I clicked on this, but I wasn't in tune. I was probably listening to what you were saying. I was just going through here. I didn't read all this, but I think that's a really in-depth tech tip, dude. So that was good.
Alex
Yeah.
Dane Pollock.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I will ship it to anybody free if you're in the United States. He doesn't look like he's in the United States, so I will have to get his information.
Okay.
What is it? Alex Dane Pollock. If you are still on here, Alex, message me. But if you're out of the country, you just pay for the shipping. I will send it to you. Okay. That's it. Whatever the shipping, I get pretty cheap around the world, but we'll see what the cost would be if you're out of the country. Hopefully not Ukraine. So I hope those guys that country is going to do better. And this is not just to be for nothing against Russia or anybody like that. We all know we have friends in Russia and in the industry as well. So I just hope that shit gets resolved, dude. So
yeah, let's hope, man. God bless those people, and on all sides too, because I know I don't think the citizens of Russia wanted this either, but I guess it's not their choice.
No, it's not. No. Don't forget to put a condom on your tool to prevent babies. Yeah, somebody knows my
winner.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to raw dog everything, dude. So yeah. Yep. Okay, so we're giving that to that tech tip right there.
Alex Dane Pollock is Santa Clarita.
Okay. Well, congratulations. You guys got a nice new sharp freaking this sucker is sharp as a mofo, and it is. They have a bunch of sets of these guys. I recommend getting these things. These things are bomb, and not just you using the tip, you can use the heel of the tool as well. It is super strong. It works awesome. You can start your deep dent with this and then finish it with this, but on aluminum I was using both. And we'll post a truck later on. Probably post it tomorrow because I want to take a picture of this and show what tool we're using. So yeah.
Right on. Congratulations, Alex. Thank you for your awesome tech tip. Thank you everybody else for competing and for participating. And there'll be more, guys. We appreciate it. We appreciate all your feedback.
Oh, damn. Look at Andy. He says, I'll take care of Alex's shipping charge. No, you're not now. You freaking, you showed me up now. Freaking Andy.
Right on, Andy. You're the man.
Love you, bro, man. Thank you, man. So, congratulations, man. So look at that. Look at guys, man. Listen, thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. We had a really good checking out. Don't forget to hit the like button. That really helps us as well. You know what? If you guys are on Apple, please, if you get a chance, give us a review. Like, let us know what you guys think about the podcast, and we will we'll read it on air and go from there. Okay. But yeah, thanks a lot. You got anything else? Last words, Joe?
Nope. Just keep creating. Don't let it stop you. Learn to love it, because remember, this is your legacy too. This stuff is going to be around. I don't mean to sound dire, but the truth is, the work we do, we're craftspeople, man. And we love what we do to some extent. Some days we love it more than others. Well, record on the days that you love it, and put it out there. Show your work, like Chris recommended.
Just be yourself. Who gives a crap what other people think, man? Right? Just
right.
do it. Just do it, man.
Right.
All right.
We want
All
to
right,
see
you guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great night. Oh, there's Alex. Sent you a message, Myke. Okay, dude, you got it, man. Congratulations, homie. I will take a look at that. I will get in touch with you. If you don't mind, I'll give you in touch tomorrow. I got to jump over and see the family, dude, right now. But congratulations. I'll get this tool out for you, okay? Good tech tip, too.
Congrats, Alex.
All right. See you, Scott, tomorrow, too. Dave-O, talk to you later. See you online.
Talk to you soon. See you guys.
See you guys.